Hey, what's going on, football fans? We are now halfway through the college football season. And so, for this video today, and I will be doing this every week until the college football playoff starts, I will be giving out my bracket and who I think should be in the college football playoff and who should be seated where and who is going to be left out as of right now. So, we're 6 weeks into the season. And what a crazy year it has been. Just chock full of upsets. I mean, you name it, it's happened. So, all right. So for this video, I'm going to go ahead and give my bracket through week 6 and who I think is going to be in. And also, if you see here on the bottom right-hand corner, I have the first 4 out, and I'm going to reveal those first. So, as of right now, my first 4 out is LSU, BYU, Notre Dame, and Texas A&M. So LSU, I had a tough time with this one. I thought about putting them in the bracket, but that loss to USC is not looking very good because USC they've really fallen off a cliff, and so LSU has a big matchup this weekend with Ole Miss coming to town. And so, and it's essentially a playoff elimination game with Ole Miss already having one loss. So, and then BYU is undefeated, and they've been kind of a surprise, so to speak. But they need to beat someone who's really good. They need to have that marquee win. And then Notre Dame, I know they had that loss to Northern Illinois early in the season, but they've really turned it around, and they did beat Texas A&M on the road to start the season out, and things are actually looking better. That win is looking a lot better for Notre Dame. And speaking of Texas A&M, it appears they've started to turn the corner as well. They had a big win this past weekend. They blew out Missouri, and so A&M, you got to put them in the conversation. All right, so what I'm going to do here is reveal my bracket. So as we all know, the top 4 seeds are conference champions, the champions from the SEC, ACC, Big Ten, and Big 12. And we'll start with number 1, and I think this one is very obvious. Texas, I have them at number 1. I have Ohio State out of the Big Ten at number 2. And then Miami, Miami, they just keep finding ways to win. They've had the last 2 games, they've had to claw back. And so I have Miami at 3. And then Iowa State, I have them at 4. So they've been, Matt Campbell, they've kind of slacked the last couple years, but they've really gotten it turned around. And right now they are clearly the best team in the Big 12. Certainly BYU, you could put them in that conversation also. All right, so those are the teams I have that have a first round bye. So now we go to the first round, and we're going to start with number 12. I mean, clearly it's Boise State. They're clearly the class of the field as far as the group of 5 teams go. And, and I think it's great that the group of 5 is being represented in the college football playoff as they should. And, if Boise, if they keep playing at the level that they're playing, they might move past that 12 seed. So keep that in mind. And also keep in mind that the first round, they will be hosted at campus sites. Like, for example, the 5 seed, whoever that is, they will host the 12 seed and the higher seed and so forth. All right, so I have Boise State at 11. Number 12. Number 11, I have Ole Miss. So I know Ole Miss, they had that loss to Kentucky, but they did bounce back with a good win against South Carolina. And but this game that they have coming up against LSU this weekend, it's pivotal. If they lose this game, they're out. I don't see them making the playoffs with 2 losses. Then again, they could. You never know. But I have Ole Miss at number 11. Number 10, I have Clemson. So I know Clemson, they have that big loss to Georgia to start off the season. But they have gotten things turned around. Dabo Swinney, he's got that team going in the right direction. I'm not going to put them ahead of Miami just yet. I still think Miami is the best team in the ACC despite all of that. But Clemson, they've been playing very well lately. And so I have them at number 10. Number 9, I have Alabama. So Alabama, of course, we all know about the big upset loss that they had to Vanderbilt this past weekend. But I have concerns with Bama's defense. I still think Bama, as of right now, they are a playoff team. But you got to remember, they were up 28-0 in that big win over Georgia. And honestly, easily could have lost that game, and maybe they should have. They let Georgia come back and take the lead on them, and then Jalen Milroe has that big pass to win the game. So Alabama, I gotta be concerned. I think you should be concerned if you're an Alabama fan. So I have them at number 9. Number 8, I have Tennessee. So Tennessee, they had another big loss to Arkansas. And, Arkansas, despite their record, they're a much better team than what their record shows, in my opinion. They've had some close losses that they probably should have won. But then they finally closed the deal against Tennessee this past weekend. So Tennessee, they dropped from 4th in the AP poll. They dropped a few spots. But I still have Tennessee as a playoff team. And keep in mind, Alabama and Tennessee, they play each other in Knoxville here in just a couple of weeks. So this could be a possible rematch. So number 7, I have Penn State. So Penn State, they just continue to roll throughout the year. They've had, they pretty much dominated every opponent that they've played. But I need to see them take that next step and get that marquee win. And speaking of marquee wins, I have Oregon at number 6. So Oregon, they have that big matchup coming up this weekend against Ohio State, the second-ranked team versus the third-ranked team in the polls. And so, I know the Big Ten, they don't have divisions anymore. So this could possibly be a Big Ten championship game preview. You never know what can happen. So Oregon, they have had their struggles to start off the year, but it looks like they've gotten things turned around up there in Eugene. And so I have Oregon at number 6. And then last but certainly not least, at number 5, I have Georgia. So as I was talking about Alabama, Georgia, they had that big loss 2 weeks ago to Alabama, but they bounced right back against Auburn. And, I know a couple of games offensively, they've had their struggles, specifically against Kentucky, but, they're just finding ways to get it done. And so I have Georgia at number 5. All right, y'all. So that is my playoff bracket after week number 6. So which teams do you think should be seeded where? And which teams do you think should be in the playoffs? Which teams do you think will be out of the playoffs? Leave it down below in the comments section. Thank you all so much for watching. And don't forget, if you're new to this channel, be sure to subscribe and also hit the like button on this video. And I will catch you guys next time around. Peace.